Good day, lords and ladies, and welcome to a Cornish first look with Against the Storm, a colony building roguelike game with a very unique aesthetic that is really quite popular on Steam at the moment, and I've had a great time playing it over the Christmas break. So I thought I'd show it off here. If you want to see a Let's Play series of this game, let me know in the comment section below. But let's first check it out. This game is developed by Eremite Games and published by Hooded Horse. For those of you who want to look them up, here is the options menu to start off with. It has a lovely range. I'm actually a big fan of this. You have a lovely large range of different controls, sound effects, video effects. You can toggle various gameplay features on and off. All kinds of things. It is a really nice, in-depth but not overwhelming options menu. You can even customize your alerts, which is nice. It's a nice thing to see. And then you have stuff like you can go into stuff like key bindings, and it's quite in-depth, which I like a lot. So overall, I like the settings, the options menu. The game is still in early access though, so be aware that some of these things that I show you might change. But let's just dive into the game for now. Right. So the basic premise of this game is that the world has relatively ended. There's just something called the Blightstorm that has basically rolled in and destroyed the world. And your job is that you are a Viceroy for the last holdout city called the Smoldering City. And you are employed at the will of the Empress, and your job is to go out into the world and collect resources. As you can see, this is the Smoldering City, and I have done you basically get resources. I saw it here with upgrades. This is where the roguelike element comes in, which is that normally you finish a city relatively quickly, or a colony relatively quickly, and the resources you get from this, be they food supplies, machinery, artifacts, go into unlocking new technology here, which you then use to basically make it quicker and faster and more easy to advance on harder levels. That's where the roguelike element is. There's also the deed system, which is that when you complete particular goals in the game, things become unlocked and allows you to get experience, which levels up, which unlocks more buildings and things like that, or unlocks particular items or equipment. But for the time being, I won't go into that too much. You can see down here, like our experience we gained, how close we are to the next level. But let's just dive into a game. First of all, I really like the aesthetic of this game. The world overwhelmed by the Blightstorm, and so basically this is how it works. You have a bar at the bottom of the screen here, cycle process, which will fill up, and your entire purpose is to put out colonies to the world and gather resources. And once you reach a particular limit, the soul block will roll back in and basically annihilate everything, and then a new random map appears when it pulls back out. So it's well worth. I love it. I think it's a really nice concept. So let's pick a location. Let's go with this location here, because I want to have access to this monastery of the Holy Flame. It means we can't forbid food consumption or favour any species, which is slightly disappointing, but we get a lot of resources out of it. So let's go here. So this is the embarkation menu. These are the three things that you're looking at. You have the difficulty, you have what you can take with you to help start your colony, and you have your colonists. Now this world has more than just one race. They have a number of races. The starting ones are beaver folk, lizard men, and humans. I have unlocked a fourth race, which are harpies, and I know there are more races out there that you can pick up. So let's look at the summary for the Masterland. It's a harsh and cold land that's been claimed by many different and extremely resilient species of fungi. The ground here is extremely hard and rocky, making it difficult to farm. However, it is famous for its abundance of fauna and insects. So, fertile soil is small, so we won't have a lot of farming. Map size is medium. Difficulty is pioneer, which is our difficulty here. You can change your settings here if you wish. You can also open up the spyglass to see the difficulty. So, for example, I'm probably going to play it on settler difficulty. It does affect, actually it affects my reward a lot. I actually stick it on pioneer, which is standard in my experience. But I just want to basically sew this off as quickly as possible because these games can take a while to get through. So we'll go through here. First of all, who do you want to take? We can take lizardmen, or we can take beavers. I think I will do a mixture, to be honest. So I like the idea of having a relatively good range. But let's go quickly to the modifiers. So when we start the game, we will have 2 beneficial things starting, and 3 negatives, and it's considered taxing difficulty. We'll also have some modifiers because of the zones we're in. We have the Monastery of the Holy Flame, which means that affects what we can implement. We have Gathering Knowledge, the materials of Gathering Paradise. The Arsenals of Gathering Paradise, gathering speed is increased by 10% for every 2 workers assigned to a gathering camp. And then we have Giant Organisms. The Marshlands are home to enormous life forms. Giant resource nodes can be found in Forbidden Glades. Each glade will have a different one. So these things affect our gameplay. Also, when we cut down trees, we get wood, we get mushrooms, and we get leather. And the natural resources here are going to be stuff like meat, mushrooms, insects, roots, charcoal, copper iron, copper ore. So a fairly meat-heavy diet. So when we start off, we have 4 embarkation points, which you can spend. I think I will get some extra wood, some extra food. I can't get anything else, unfortunately. But the extra food always goes a long way in my experience. So let's go like that. This is a good start. And we shall embark. Yes, I am aware. So, the whole purpose of this is that there's a constant storm raging, so we have to keep our fire alight. If the fire goes out, we suffer massive penalties. Okay, so here are the effects that will be affecting us. Positively, we have invigorating winds. Villages with this effect move 20% faster. We need to have complex food made for that to kick in. And that needs complex food. Yeah, so both of our positive things need complex food to be kicked in. So we need to make stuff like jerky or other complex meal types. Negatively, at our first crisis level, which is basically the forest becomes more hostile to us. And we'll go through phases, depending how long we played the game. At the first crisis level, discovering a glade during the storm will decrease global result by 10 for 3 minutes. That's not too bad. The later 2 are nastier though. Acid rain dissolves some of your resources transported to a warehouse overseas, reducing building materials yield 50% fewer goods. That's not great. And due to the region's location, the crown requires you to pay 5 amber each storm multiplied by the amount of years played. If you don't, impatience will grow 20% faster. The penalty will last until the next storm season. So not great. Okay, currently the game is paused. Welcome to basically the world. You can see we have our lizard folk and our beaver people down here. And now we have the interesting chance of basically deciding what to do. So let's first put down a road. Let's get a road in place. Your colonists will basically move faster on roads than on bare ground, so whenever possible try and link up your road networks just to make it a bit more efficient. Now if we have a look around us, we have some food supplies here in the form of sickle cell broodmothers. Small sickle cells are crawling out of the openings in the broodmother's shell, easy to collect, so some kind of ginormous snail-like creature. And we have eggs and snake nest. We can get some food from there. So first things first. I know this looks all confusing up here. You have your resources. You have what season it is. There are basically 3 seasons in the game. There's drizzle, there is clear, and there is storm. And it goes through 3 seasons to complete 1 year, as you can see. And each season will have a certain length of time. The hostility of the forest will increase over time. You can see it increases with basically how many villagers we have, how many woodcutters we have, how many halves we have on patients from the Queen, how many years we've been in the game, how many glades have been opened, that kind of thing. So, at the top here, you can see our colonists types. Each colonist type basically has different preferences. Beavers are hard-working and honest, but they like woodworking and enjoy engineering. So you see those little coloured markers underneath there in the description. That shows them what kind of work they prefer. Lizard folk like anything to do with meat production, or anything that has to do with basically generating heat because they are cold-blooded. So, but for the time being, let's throw down. Yeah, we'll throw down a woodcutter's hut. As you can see around here, if you just zoom out of the map, you can see around here we're surrounded by glades. Some of these glades will contain hostile encounters. Some of them will just contain resources. The ones that are dangerous have a skull hovering over their head, so we just have to be aware of that. Now, we have a couple of glades here which are relatively accessible and aren't too nasty. So let's throw down a woodcutting hut here and get the game going. I will move the speed up just to get things done at a bit faster rate. You can see they're building things. We do have stuff that unlocks, which is basically at the end of every season you get a free blueprint, or when you hit particular goals, which is basically down here, which is that we have to fill up our blue bar. Once we fill up our blue bar, our goals are completed, and we can go back to the Smoldering City with our heads held high. If this bar fills up, which is the Queen's impatience, we fail because basically we've taken too long to make up the colony and to get resources for her, and she becomes quite impatient. So they're building that up. We should also throw down some ways of gathering food. Let's get, before we do anything like that, to be honest, actually, I want to get some housing up. So let's throw some beavers in here. As you can see, it's specialization for wood building, which the beavers like. So let's get them busy doing that, and we'll start cracking into the first glade. We can also now build bigger shelters, which will basically takes some more wood to do. So what I think I will do then is we'll go and get a basic woodcutter's shop going, and a wood crafting shop, and we'll get some very basic planks put out. It's not the most effective thing we can do, but it is a good way of getting stuff done. Now, you're probably wondering why I'm not trying to get new resources yet, like new buildings and blueprints, which happens every so often. The reason being, I want to see what our requests from our Queen are. Because our Queen does 2 things, which is that periodically she will give you gifts, and also she will basically give you tasks. And your tasks are normally linked to things that come out of the building, so you have to be relatively focused. But here are our boons. We get reinforced axes, flaming amulets, or vineyard town. We can also re-roll if we wish to, which is something that you unlock during the development. So you basically buy upgrades in the Smoldering City to get this ability to re-roll. So we can get reinforced axes, which wood cutting is a lot easier. Produce 40% wood quicker. That's really nice. An artifact infused power of the holy flame. Hostility from woodcutters increased by 4 or by 6, which is really good. And if we wanted to specialize in wine production, gain +1 to every beaver resolve for every 70 wine produced. Now I'm going to basically cut more wood quicker. So let's get that done. Now we've got that bonus ongoing. We also have something to do about trade routes. Basically, trade routes are the ability to, once you have a trade post in your settlement, you can access the trade routes. They allow you to export goods to other nearby settlements in exchange for money the main currency of the realm, amber. You can open up a trade route panel by selecting the icon at the top right corner of the screen, which is basically up here. So we want to do trade posts, trade routes, that kind of thing, but we need to have a trade post in our settlement built. So that's done. Now, we need planks. So you two have got to jump in there. I don't mind about the other resources, you can turn them off. Here you can set what things are made and how much you made if there's any limit. So let's get some planks made so we can get some big houses up and going. And let's just speed up the clock. Just waiting for our... Here we go. Orders from the Queen. So these are orders. They normally come in batches of 3. And then towards the end they will come in batches of 2. So let's see what our first orders are. Open up 2 glades, complete 2 glade events. Now, you can see our rewards are different. This one we get bonus stone, bonus clay, and some tools. This one we get some planks, some tools, and some new colonists. I'm going to go for this one, because this gives us bonus production, plus it gives us a reputation increase. Here we have at least 5 villages with servitude need fulfilled for 20 seconds. That's not too bad. Some wood, which is relatively straightforward to do, and we get some basic things. Or we can keep lizard folk reserve above 10 for 30 seconds. That's not too bad. Get some more lizard folk. This actually is relatively nice because parts are hard to come by and are actually quite useful. So let's grab that. And the final one, they want us to have harvester's camp, stonecutter's camp, bricks, and it gives us some resolve, some parts and some basic resources, which isn't too bad. This one is a bit more harder to do. Ancient tablets are rewards from basically doing glade events, so you won't get that for a while. But it's worth more money. But these parts are actually fairly valuable to us. So let's grab that, and it's fairly easy to do. So now we know what our objectives are. And this is popped up. So we have here stone deposit, small stone deposit, and some eggs. Okay, that's not too bad. So let's crack open what we can unlock for our first round of reputation. We can get a clothier, a press, a seller, or a weaver. Okay. You can also get the ability to re-roll at certain points as well. So something that makes jerky would be good. It doesn't make it well, unfortunately. A weaver for making fabric would be good, because then we could turn it into clothing down the line. There's not a lot of farming. I might actually get this one, because training gear will keep our party members happy. Actually, no, we need to have this. I just remembered. We need to have this because a lot of our bonuses come from having processed foods. So let's pick up the. It's not great. No, actually, I'm going to grab the. No, I will grab the cellar. I'm not happy with it. Especially something pops up that has better production. Carpenter is nice just because we get more effective plank and tool production, which is actually fairly hard to do. Let's grab that. And then we have, here we go, smokehouse. That's what I was worried about. Having the smokehouse is really good for jerky production, like meat production. So we want to have that, and we want to have it relatively soon. So for a smokehouse, what do we need? We need to have cloth and we need to have planks. Okay. So let's... And for a cellar we need bricks and we need cloth. Okay. So we can't do a lot of things, but let's get a trapper colony, a trapper's hut up here. And we'll put a road down in this direction. Let's go. And this, yeah, as you can see, the rainy season is ongoing. They're building planks. So that's coming online. Let's get some people in here, which will make them even more happy because they're doing tasks they like. Get that going. Excellent. So we've got one of our primary goals done already, and now we get rewarded some more villagers, some more food, and some parts, which is fantastic. Come on, we need to get some planks. We need to get some planks in process, guys. Because these houses are big, but they take up. They're big houses, but unlike the previous ones, which are small, they don't take up. They take up a little bit more space, but what we can do is we can basically make them more efficient, like that, and that will basically take care of our problems. But we need to get decent wood production going. So where is the carpenter? Yeah, we can't get anything going just yet, and we still have one pick. Provisioner, grain mill, skewer, trapper camp. That's actually really good. That automatically upgrades our existing trapper camp, so we'll get even better production out of it, which is fantastic. Okay, with that done, we have actually a fair amount of just people not doing anything, unfortunately. So let's get another trapper camp up and get them doing some more meat production. Wood is starting to become an issue. Okay. They're building houses. Okay, that's why. So let's get another glade opened up. And that will help us keep our resolve high. The level of homelessness goes down. So now we are into the sunny season, or the season where we're basically getting some things done. Okay, so all our housing needs to be met, which is good. We need to basically just get more product going, because as it stands right now, we are in a wee bit of issue. I'm going to turn off what is getting fed into the fire. Predominantly coal and sea marrow, which is basically bone, will basically burn longer than other things. So we basically need to get working. I'm actually going to relocate this building. Some buildings can be relocated for free, some of them take more resources. Let's get that going. Okay, with that done, we'll throw some more lizards on there to get some more food production. Yeah, we're having real trouble getting resources, which I'm not happy about, to be honest. We don't have really anything we can use for making cloth. Okay, so we are hitting some resource blockages, which is not great. There are ways we can get around this, but we do need basically resources relatively quickly. Also, when your morale is met for creatures, it will passively increase your reputation over time. Okay. Let's get another glade popped open and get another goal completed, which will keep the queen happy. But we need to do it relatively quickly. Okay. Come on. There we go. Ooh, more production and more food. Fantastic. So you won't have any food issues. But what we need to do is I need to make a smokehouse, which means we need to get some cloth produced from somewhere. But the ground isn't that fertile, so what we might have to do is we may have to go and get a trading post. Not a massive fan of having it this early, to be honest. But it is a way of getting past some issues that we're going to have, I can foresee us having. So what we have in here, some mest and some small meat supplies. Okay. You have another goal completed, as you can see up here, so we can turn it in. Some more resource production, some more tools. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay. So, it's still coming along very nicely. We've got another pick to unlock. What can we get? Herb garden, herbalist hut, grains, beaver house. Beaver house will make them happier. Each race will have a specialist house they live in. They normally take more preserved, they take more advanced resources to normally make. But they give better bonuses. What do I really want? Herbalist camp would be nice for the berries and the mushrooms. Forager's camp actually is probably what we really want. If we get a forager's camp going, it would be really powerful for us. So let's grab the forager's camp. There's not a lot of growing soil here, so I'm not overly optimistic. But we can still put down stuff like Stonecutter's camp, which will allow us to get some base resources. We also need some more villagers, to be honest. We need stuff like a kiln, or at least a reliable source of wood. Okay, so our first storm is rolling in, and as you can see, our hostility is going up. Fortunately, it's not too bad. Yes, it's hitting us a bit on the morale side of things, but that's fine. Let's get the priority for this up. But I need some more villagers, realistically speaking. Right. So we need bricks, stonecutter's camp, harvester's camp. Okay. Fuel is not looking great, unfortunately. So I need to get some way of getting some more resources in. That's pretty much done, so that will now start ticking over. In a couple of minutes we have a trader come in, and maybe we can get some resources to put together. It stands right now, I can't do a lot with what I have. Let's tell them to stop making planks for the time being to save on our wood production. Okay, so at the end of the season we get a boon from the Queen. So economic migration rumours that your settlement is one of the wealthiest in the realm. Newcomers will arrive 50% quicker for every 2 levels of standing you have with other settlements. Well, that doesn't really matter to us right now. For frequent caravans, constant flow of goods keeps your village distracted. Boost global resolve by 3 for 60 seconds every time you finish a trade. Standard set of rules. Let's do a rerun. None of these really impress me. Protective trade. Rooted ground. Strange roots spread across the lands. Wood production is increased by 1 by 1, but harvesting and planting are 25% slower. None of these are great, to be honest. Slower. We have a lot of food, so having faster wood production I'm probably going to go for. Just so we get more wood production, which would be nice. And we do have some migrants, which is fantastic. So, what will they bring? Some stone, which would be nice to making bricks. Some harpies, which are basically good for cloth production. Another beaver. Let's grab these guys because they actually are pretty good for what we need to do. I need more wood, to be honest. I'm actually pretty worried about our wood situation. So let's grab another woodcutter's camp. I don't want to be too aggressive with our chopping, because if we get too deep into the glades, we'll start to have issues. But as I say, we need wood. We would need wood rather poorly, or rather quickly, I should say. We also now have an issue with housing, which we need to deal with. So I think I will build another big shelter. And get that going. And with the people that we have here, we can go... They don't like working there, do they? Why don't they like working there? Okay. Coal is going down, so we need more wood. Who do we have left working? It's 3. No one, realistically speaking. Okay. But having everyone doing a job would be good. So let's get some bricks made. It's not the best way to make bricks using this method, because it's ineffective with resources, but that's what we have at disposal. Oh, we need actually a builder, do we? Okay. Work on this, please. Okay. And the trader has arrived. So what do we have to trade that would be good for us? Okay, some cloth we desperately need. We need cloth, realistically speaking. Let's get 10 bits of cloth. They want a good amount of resources. So we'll trade them the heart. One of our fire halves, which we can use to make new fires. And I will trade them some of this to balance out the trade. And with that done, we can now go to production. And for example, carpenter would be very good. But I want to make a smokehouse for the jerky. So I'm going to relocate the woodcutter here. I'm going to say smokehouse goes here. Our food is doing well off. We're just having problems with wood supply, and some more orders are kicked in, as you can see. Okay, so keep beavers for 20 resolve or higher. Yeesh, that's going to be hard. Because as you can tell, our beavers are at 13. So for them to be happy, we'd have to have stuff like beaver houses, clothing, education, leisure. A lot of things to get. What's the opposite? Produce trade goods. No, try and get the resolve. Might be a bit more doable. 10 beavers, 24 resolve. Or just produce products. It's not going to be easy because we don't have any real farming. Okay. Okay. Getting resolve up will be a pain, to be honest. Might be doable. Right. Everyone undercover would be good. I mean, I do have materials here to get this made. That would be really great to have, because we do have a lot of meat. So getting it turned into jerky would be great. The trapper's camp has been expunged, so you guys can actually... You guys can go there. I will get these woodcutters to start hacking into some more glades. And relocate these ones down here to help. Okay. Get that going. Okay. Now this comes a tricky part, because I need to actually pull people off locations. So I'm going to take you from there. Take one of the lizards. Where are my lizards at? You can press this to see where lizards are working. Okay. Get that done. And we're going to put the lizards in here, which will give them a nice morale boost and also help us produce a lot more resources, because it will convert our food into jerky, which will go farther. Okay. Once we've got enough bricks made, yeah, we're out of stone already. I might actually have to pull someone off. Okay. Work there. Okay. Let's speed up the clock. Yeah, our wood supply is getting low. So we're going to have to stick it onto that. I really wanted to get a kiln or something. Right, so jerky is being produced, which will boost people's morales up. Okay. Okay, we're getting into when the storm's coming around, so we need to be quick about this. Okay. Glade just popped open, fantastic, just before the storm hit. Banded cash and some... yeah, some plant fibre. It's not great, but it would be better than nothing. Okay. Told them to not dig this bit because I don't want to trip the forest. But yes, so this is the basic flavour of the game, is that you're basically building a colony against the clock, with it getting always harder. And I really do like this game a lot. I think it's very unique. It's challenging, but not in a way that punishes you too much. Especially on the normal difficulties. On the harder difficulties, it can become quite a bit of an issue, but I think it works very, very well. I would suggest you pick it up. I do like the game a lot. But that is just me. So this has been Against the Storm. I've been Cornish-Knight, and I really do suggest you pick this game up. It's still in early access, but it's well worth your time and energy to invest. I love the setting, I love the colony building, I like the world and the lore, and I will see you all again next time, folks. Have a lovely holiday. I've been Cornish-Knight. This has been Against the Storm. Please like and subscribe. Goodbye.